Hello, everyone.
What up?
It's been a while. We had 2 weeks off, but I'm glad to be back for a pre-show chat show. Okay, so we want to do the Nen thing first. We're going to talk about football.
It's up to ya.
I am indecisive.
Let's do Nen first and then football.
Okay. Do you want to go first, Josh?
Right.
Since this was your idea.
Let's do
No,
an
I
explanation.
really want to hear Yatsu.
Let's do an explanation before we get into it directly, though.
What? Go for it.
All right, I
Me?
can start it
What do
off.
Yeah.
Oh, what we're doing? All right, so basically, we all three of us took a Nen affinity test about a month ago to figure out what our Nen type is. Chris and Brian from the Hunter x Hunter series, for those that I haven't been following and may not know, Brian and Chris both got Enhancer, and I got Conjurer. Okay, so basically, we had to create a Hatu, just based off of that, with no real hard line, no like real limitations. I guess it just has to be, reasonably explained. Yeah, am I missing? Oh, also, don't forget to name your Hatu.
Okay.
Or at least, like, if there's multiple types of it.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
All right.
Yep.
Chris, you want to go? Or should I?
Okay, so I'll start with mine. No,
Oh, you're
I'll
starting yours?
start because Chris wanted me to go first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been waiting. Okay, so I was a conjurer, and the name of my Hatsu is called Medicine Game. That is another name for the game of lacrosse that's played by that was created by the Native Americans.
Oh my God.
In the Northeast. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
A lacrosse themed Nen ability?
There's two. Oh yeah. Big shocker there, right? So
Let me guess.
this
Wait.
stipulation.
Do you conjure a nerf a lacrosse stick?
I sure do. I sure do.
Hell yeah.
I sure do. And there's two factors to it. Okay. So there's the all right, I'm gonna get into what like the overall main purpose is, and then I'm gonna get into like combat stuff after. So the Hatu Medicine Game, being a conjurer, the type. Oh, you have to say what type of hunter you are, as well.
Oh,
so
I didn't think about that.
I have my kind of hunter too.
Yeah, I can think about it on the yeah. So I don't think there's like an actual precedent for mine. So I just figured it up. So I'm a liberation hunter. So like I seek out towns, cities, villages, any like groups of civilizations with people who are dealing with oppression. What I do is essentially give them like equal footing. So if there's, let's say, conflict going on, right, like in a village, and there was like a group of like really powerful like people who are like really strong within their abilities. That's how they have like a stranglehold like on the town, how they exploit the people. What I would do would go there, and as long as like the people are like want to and are willing to like fight back and make their own rules or whatever, or run their own society, we basically what I do is create a game between like the leadership that they choose against like the leadership that's already there running. And it's essentially, it's not a lacrosse game per se, but what I do is like I conjure up like an arena, and within that space, if you're able to land 3 hits at a time on somebody before they could return a hit, they're basically locked out of the game. And when all of the people are gone, then that person loses. And the way my ability, the reason like why I could do something so strong like that is because I rely on other people's nen as well when I'm conjuring up that situation. That's why I need at least one of the parties to fully want to do it like on their own. So basically I'm just facilitating like something for them. Now into like what I could like personally do, right? Because there's situations where like, instead of just helping people out, I may have to defend myself or fucking assassinate someone on my own, right? But so myself, like I conjure like a lacrosse stick, and I can. All right, with the lacrosse stick, basically, there's like a few conditions set on that. So the longer like I stay with my stick, and like I continue like to practice with it, like hitting the wall or doing like normal like drills that would like improve my lacrosse skills or whatever, like accuracy, shooting, etc. Right? That like builds like a bond like with the stick, like how they like how in Native American culture they treat their sticks like really serious and they're personal, like they make it from wood a lot of the times themselves, and they did everything. Lacrosse was part of like their civilization, a way of life, and lacrosse games was also how they like settled like disputes, like they when they didn't want to actually kill each other over battle, they would play lacrosse. So that's where the inspiration for the first part of the Hatu came from anyway. But yeah, so with the stick, like as long as I'm able to create that bond, it's basically enhances like my base like physical abilities, not as much as like an enhancer could. Like I can't like peek out or nothing like that, but definitely a lot stronger than a normal person. Think about maybe like a Captain America in a sea of fucking Hulks and other really super strong people, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I can, well, like someone will punch me and I won't fucking die because someone would then hit me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like so and then there's two there's like three specific forms I could conjure. Like if I'm fighting, there's the standard with the like the short stick, and that's based on like sharpshooting basically, because that's what people with like short sticks usually play, like offense, and like they're trying to score. So like I conjure up like lacrosse balls, and there could be two different types. Like one kind is just like just a regular like hard ball that I could shoot and there's like damage, and another one is when I conjure up a ball and I can transmute it into wood, and that wood has special properties. Like basically, if I hit somebody with that like wood ball, or if it hits into like another like what do you call that? Like a Nen based ability, like imagine like an emitter ability. The wood would get like the aura would get absorbed into the wood. So like it's kind of like a defensive technique, and if I hit people with it, instead of doing a whole lot of damage, it kind of attacks, like it eats at their aura. So there's the sharpshooter form with that, and then there's the defense form when I use the long stick, which is actually what I played with when I was in college. And that one is just kind of more of a straightforward, like it's used to like if I want to fight against like maybe like a really strong enhancer or someone that's more like physical and like up close, like the long pole is meant to keep people like at bay. Like that's why we use it in lacrosse. That's why you're only allowed to have like 4 on the field, because of the advantage it gives you on defense. So it'll help me keep people away. And the stick itself is made out of wood, the same one that's transmuted with from the ball like that I would shoot. So if I hit people with it, like it doesn't like completely sap them or whatever of their nen, but it definitely like eats away at it as well as like doing damage. And I could also still like conjure up balls and shoot with it the same way you could like with the long stick. And then the final one is the goalie stick that I conjure, and that one is specifically for dealing with what would probably be like my hardest weakness, which would be like emitters and people who shoot like blasts, because like I don't have like the output to keep up with them. But with the goalie stick, you know, what you do is you say, you know, it's meant to like save shots. And people in lacrosse shoot like 90, 100, 120 some miles per hour, and they're still like saving it. You know what I mean? Like it's so like basically I'll be able to like catch like projectile shots, corral it, and then be able to like shoot it back at them. But it's like specifically for like emitter like based attacks, or you know, something like that. I think like blast or whatever. Yeah. I mean, that's all right. The last element to it is that in the case that I do pass away, like if I was to die, basically there's a post-mortem then condition, like with the stick. So if I was to die, like it would like get engraved in the stick, and you know, pass on basically like my traits to like whoever would pick up the stick after. And I know we wasn't going to get into like lore and all of that, but I was going to kind of say like that like was, I guess, like the tribe, like a clan or whatever, like, you know, my character would have came from, like where they all do that, where like, you know, people have sticks that have been passed down for like generations and shit that are super strong, and they all got killed just like the Curta clan, or like a bunch of them got smoked to this, and or a lot of the sticks got taken, whatever. So, you know, that's what motivated like my character to kind of, you know, be a liberation hunter, to, you know, not let people do what the fuck they want, et cetera, et cetera. Do you have any questions? I guess that's it.
A lot of interesting.
Anything I want clarity on?
You got a lot of interesting restrictions and stuff too. It's actually pretty sick.
Yeah, it's really detailed. I think I got it. I don't know about questions. I'm good at.
Yeah, I've been sitting on this for a while. I didn't even write it down. I was able to remember this shit from the head. Medicine game.
Medicine game.
No, medicine game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it heals. When you go out there and you play, that physical activity you get, like, you know, like being competitive and hitting other people and working together with others in a safe, you know, like organized space. You know what I'm saying? That's like healthy. So
it's cool. It's kind of like a domain expansion. It's kind of like a domain,
and that's something that conjurers can kind of do.
Yeah.
And low key, and I borrow a lot from transmutation. Because like, let's say if the stick, there's a condition I missed. Like basically if the stick breaks at any time, I go into like force setsu. For
wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's really important for me to defend. Basically, I didn't get into super detail with the combat, but like this, I'm a strong fighter, and I have a lot of ways to counter like different people. You know what I'm saying? And the longer a fight can draw on, basically, I feel like I would have more of an advantage, because the more I learn and the more I could like switch up and change like based on what I need to do. My biggest weakness are emitters and enhancers, because they had like those two forms had the rawest strength. And I feel like, all right, I'm sorry guys, there's one more thing I missed. Can I throw it in?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, sure. This is the one. All right, this is the one that's gonna probably put it over the edge. So I don't just also borrow. I don't borrow just from the transmuter. I also borrow from the manipulator. And when I'm allowed to do, like, if I'm like, you know, like in a regular fight with people, not like helping people out during the medicine game where I'm just like, you know, a bystander, I can conjure up like copies of myself, and they can have any version of like the three like sticks I use, whether it's a goalie, a long pole. So I could conjure up two other like short sticks so we could all shoot around or whatever.
So you can like make teammates.
And it's basically, but it's not like a huge, you know, it doesn't draw a whole lot on manipulation, because they don't, you know, I can't like give them complex orders or nothing like that. They, you know, I can only kind of use them as props, kind of the same way like if you was playing yourself. And you know, when you're playing with your teammates, you can't control what they do. You kind of have to hope they're in that spot and they do the right thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you do have, I mean, you can obviously know like what your own instincts are. So I can rely on knowing, okay, I know if I like another aspect is that I could like charge up like the shot too if I hold on to it for like a while. Oh, no, that's what it was. Not charge it. Basically, if I make 3 passes in a row before I shoot, that's like a condition. Before like I shoot a shot, it amplifies it by like a certain amount, by like a lot. So like it could blow by, like, you know, it could really hurt like an enhancer's defense or something like that. Like after those 3 passes, where a regular shot isn't really gonna like push the needle versus someone that's really strong.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking is a cool feature for like your duplicates. You can make it so that whoever is in possession of the ball is the person you have like complete control over. And
yes.
you give orders to that one. Like you're like, if you're playing in Madden or like 2K, when you pass the ball to someone, that person has like the full control.
Then I agree. And you know what? I thought about, Steve, this is why I should have wrote some of the finer details down. But basically that is, so the condition, basically in order for that to work, like for the, you know, me to even use that much manipulation, even though it's not like that much, I had to evenly split my aura into 3. So if one of them gets destroyed, I'm losing a third of my aura.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so but unless I call them off on my own and it like dissipates and returns to me. So basically there's risk and reward to that. And yeah, whoever has like the ball basically is the one in control. So I could like you know, I could use the same trickery in lacrosse. Like you could fake a like pass to make the person like go run and try to attack that clone, thinking they're going to time it. You know what I'm saying? And in Hunter x Hunter, is it like the more you tell somebody about ability, it's stronger?
No, that's just Jujutsu
Kaisen, right?
Yeah.
Well, they still talk about the abilities anyway.
Yeah, they do.
So I guess if they start to learn that.
Yeah, they try to keep it as secret as possible.
Yeah.
So
all right, I think that covers everything. Do y'all feel like the conditions are all fair?
Yeah, no, that sounds fair.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think I could fight Crollo and people like that.
Well, I don't know about Crollo.
I think. How do you think I stack up against like certain characters?
They would have to agree to the terms of the duel, right?
No, not for like a one-on-one
You could
fight.
just force them into the game.
I mean, technically, it is like basically if they want to fight me, like, and like it's a fight to the death or whatever, they're agreeing to the like. I'm saying okay, like I'll fight, and then we're setting up a game, and it could go by those rules, like you know, if you get hit a certain amount of times in a row, then you know, you get put into force setsu, which would be more of my nature because I don't. It's not like I'm trying to kill people or nothing like that, unless it's absolutely necessary. And most of the time, it's not. Yeah. You put someone in Zetsu, they're pretty much done. All right.
Okay.
I am finished.
Brian, you want to go next or should I?
I'll go next.
Okay,
so mine has a lot of restrictions.
Oh boy. Brian
has a lot of restrictions because it has to have a lot of restrictions. It's called scaling the skill tree. And it's an
what type of hunter are you?
I'm a quest hunter. So I'm an enhancer who dips into transmuter and emitter, right? So essentially, first restriction is that I can't use my primary enhancer ability for combat. It is strictly used to enhance my vitality and my other 2 Nen affinities that I'm dipping into. So essentially the enhancement, the enhancer part is primarily being used to create the skill tree aspect of the Hatsu, essentially. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so make an enhancer still the core of the ability.
Yeah, exactly. So I just completely forego combat as a whole. I cannot use enhancement at all for combat. It's primarily going to be used as that mechanic to instill the growth and in the skill tree, right? So since I'm dipping into 2 different affinities outside of my own my primary one, I still have to do a lot of restrictions in order to make it work out, essentially, so that way it just balances itself out. So to start with transmuter, with transmutation, transmutation is linked to my right hand, which is not my dominant hand. And I can only use my right hand for defense. I can't use my right hand for anything else. So what I do is, for my right hand, I will put aura onto my right hand and turn it to steel. And essentially, if people try to attack me and stuff like that, I can defend with my right hand. And the more that I level it up, the more that I can kind of expand the size of my right arm or change the shape of my right arm. But that's only through the experience that I gain from getting quests or accepting quests. So essentially, as a quest hunter, all I do is run around and accept like quests from people. Like, it could be kind of like a video game, right? Where you do side quests, you do main quests, and I get experience through those quests, essentially. So smaller quests give me less XP, so I'm not able to level up things as quickly. But if I take on bigger quests with strong enemies, I'll gain a lot more XP. So
like,
I
if
have
you
to
used to be a bodyguard for York City, that would have been like a high experience if you survived and did your job.
Yeah, exactly. So, and one more thing, as a quest hunter, I can only use my Hatsu during a quest. That's the only time that I can have it active. So if I don't have a job going on, I am extremely vulnerable.
What the hell? Oh shit, that is a crazy restriction.
Oh, Brian,
so you can't fight people like on some.
No, I can't use my Hatsu at all. Wait, what happened, Chris?
Hold on, I think my internet was weird. Okay, explain that one weakness. I don't know if it caught.
Okay, so essentially, I as a quest hunter, to like probably the biggest restriction on this list is that I can't use my Hatsu outside of a quest. So I can only use Hatsus when I have a quest active. So it could be anything, like a quest can be anything ranging from, oh, this cat is stuck in a tree, help me, to, like Josh said, like a bodyguard duty for like a very important politician or something like that, right? Like if I were to take a quest. So that's what my right hand would be. My left hand, being my dominant hand, is my emitter. It is where the emitter is going to be assigned to. And it's my primary hand. So as a restriction to use emission on my left hand, I am sacrificing my primary hand. So I don't have a left hand anymore. And
just in life in general?
Yeah, so if I don't have a quest active, I don't have a left hand. Essentially, I don't have my primary hand anymore. And what I do is
did you chop it off yourself?
Yeah, I chopped it off to create the restriction. So my left hand is primarily used for offense. So since I can't do combat outside of a quest anyway, I don't need my left hand anymore, right? So my left hand has 2 modes. My left hand has 2 modes. I have 3 modes total, but my left hand has 2 modes. There's a power fist, which is primarily for close range. I can emit a big fist in my left hand that can kind of like blast people when they get close, and I could like punch them and shit, right?
Rocket the punch.
Yeah, and rocket punch is the ranged one. So I can yeah. So there's the power fist and the rocket punch.
The drop ready. Oh my god. Well, you go on, Brian.
So only when a quest is active, my left hand, I emit an aura fist that I can switch between ranged and close range. So, but I can't use rocket punch on anybody that's within a 10-foot radius, essentially. So if somebody comes in within 10 feet, I cannot use rocket punch. I have to switch to power punch.
Damn.
And so, and here's another restriction, by the way. I have to choose. I can't use both at the same time. I have to choose between either transmutation or emission. So if somebody comes into range after I have rocket fist and they come in after me, I have to choose whether I want to switch to power fist or switch to the steel arm. So it's all about like choice of which one I want to use in the moment. I can't use any of them active at the same time. And if I commit to one, there's another restriction where I have to stay on that one for like 30 seconds. So once I use it, it's on cooldown.
Okay. Yeah, I see.
Damn.
You can't just spam.
Yeah,
like,
I can't just spam
options.
rocket. Yeah.
It's like loadouts. Basically.
Yeah, exactly. So I have to constantly be aware of how I'm using the abilities, how I'm defending myself, how I'm moving around. And these skills get better the more that I level up. So like rocket punch could shoot at somebody and maybe it can push them away, or maybe it could pull them to where I want them to go, or power fist could just like the steel arm can kind of increase in size and change in shape. The more that I level up power fist, it could like take shape into different objects, like a Nen sword or a Nen hammer, stuff like that, just to add more versatility. And yeah, that's basically it. And the more that I take these quests, the more the XP increases every level that I make, right? So every time I level up, it takes more XP to level up. So I have to constantly be active the more that I climb through the ranks, essentially. So theoretically, it's kind of a limitless ability. But it's driven by hard work. So I have to constantly be working, constantly be taking quests, and constantly be, trying to improve and be safe and cautious and stuff like that. So there's a lot of restrictions, and the restrictions are necessary to make sure that this works, because dipping into 3 different affinities is kind of taboo in the series. So restrictions are necessary in order to make it work. But yeah, do you guys have any questions?
It's a lot of stuff. Okay, wait. So I may have lost this in the time. I may have lost this in the time where my internet was going a little crazy. Can you explain the transmutation arm again? The transmutation arm.
So my right hand is the transmutation arm, and essentially I put aura over my arm, and I turn it to steel. I turn the aura into steel, because that's what transmutation is, right? You change the quality of your aura.
Yeah.
And essentially, the more that I level up the arm, the more it becomes less of just a coating of steel and more into something that I can manipulate to make it bigger, or to make it like a shield, stuff like that. But it's purely a defensive ability. It cannot be used for combat. It's purely to like keep myself safe, essentially. So I cannot use it for combat. So that's the big restriction on that one. Damn. So I have no access to my right arm, and I have no left arm, which I use my emission for.
Damn. Well, that's the only question I had. That shit sounds mad complicated. Not Horikoshi. Takashi would be proud.
Yeah, I got some comments. So I think the restrictions are really strict. So like your abilities basically are like really strong, right? Like even if it's not stuff you thought of right now, at some like they get super duper strong, because I feel like it would have been good enough maybe like to keep your limbs and just not be able to use the Hatsu when you're not doing quest or whatever. But I guess you want to make it so that you can reach those like serious limits of strength with those like really hardline conditions, and I fucks with it. I also think like the questing is a really good idea, because you dip into like different categories. It makes sense that if you're just doing different quests, getting different experience from people, like it leads into like why you're varied in your Hatsu, because of the challenges you take in your like in that life are super varied and anyway. So I think that works. That synergizes as well. That's cool. Nice. Scaling
the skill tree. It's called scaling the skill tree.
Scaling the skill tree. Okay. Well, there's one more boy to go.
Yeah,
it is the best boy of the new Gem City.
I feel mine is pretty simple, mostly because I thought enhancers usually keep it pretty simple.
Yeah.
My ability is called Impact Mine. With my enhancement ability, I increase the power of my punches by default, but I also use an emission ability that is only applied to both my hands and both my feet. And if I hit you with any of those, it emits a Nen mine onto your body, and I can detonate it at any time with the snap of my fingers. Within 8 hours and within 500 meters.
Damn.
Yeah, that's strategic and to the point. Like I
only have 4 mines, so I have to use them pretty specially, and I can only use it once per. I can only use 4. This is probably too much of a restriction, but it is a powerful ability. But I basically only have 4 mines per 24 hours. And when I enhance the mine that I leave on you. So when I snap my fingers and the mine detonates, it detonates at 5 times the power that I initially hit you with.
Damn.
Sheesh. So you'd be a blacklist hunter. More likely.
I'm a gourmet hunter, mostly because I'm hungry right now.
A gourmet.
Gourmet hunter.
Well, I mean, shit, you'd be able to hunt wildlife and shit.
Yeah. Another technical weakness is that my mines land on the surface that I hit. So in theory, when I hit you, if I hit you in the chest, I'm really hitting your shirt. So if you remove your shirt before I detonate the bomb, only the shirt will take the impact.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a good way to remove armor, though.
So you could place it on inanimate objects too. Like you can plant them I
can plant them on biological and non-biological matter.
And these bombs are serious, like the Black Rose ones from the incredible and impeccable Greed Island arc.
It's just incredible. It's just like a huge impact when I unleash it. And I unleash it with a snap of my fingers. That's how I activate the ability. But the mine only lasts for 8 hours. It only affects the surface that I hit it.
You have a name for your Hatsu?
Impact Mine.
Oh, you said it right. Oh, yeah. Impact Mine. Yeah, that is short and sweet.
I was thinking of also an application of the ability called Wombo Combo, where if I use all 4 mines on one person, there's a force multiplier beyond the 5 times for every mine that I hit you.
Oh,
and that's killing Chrollo for sure.
If I hit him 4 times,
no matter how you slice it. Yeah.
But Wombo Combo is only in effect for 30 minutes. So I have to hit him 4 times within 30 minutes with my Impact Mine.
Okay. I have a few questions for all of us.
Okay.
Now that our Hatsus are... All right. Do you have any comments, Brian?
No, that's very Christian. That's very Christian, for sure.
Yeah, right? Like, it makes a lot of sense, and it's mad deadly until
it's point. A very crafty ability. It's a very crafty ability. It's like he could sneak you with a lot of shit. He could do a lot of trick plays with that.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking is like, even if I like pat you on the back, that's an impact that I can leave a mine on. And that pat will be multiplied by 5. So it would like feel like an actual punch to the back of you.
Theoretically, like, couldn't you just like place the mine on the floor, and when somebody comes after you, you could just blow it up?
You could punch you could just punch the floor.
I could punch it, or I could stomp, because it's also on
you could stomp too. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I said I have 4 on like my hands and my feet have the impact mines where they are. I can only have them on my hands and feet.
Yeah, that's such a crafty ability. It's so you.
You could do a lot of stuff with that too. Like if you needed to like clear a big ass fucking boulder, you could probably you only need all 4. You could stack like 2 and it'll fucking blow it away.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, 500 meters is like just a number I threw out there because I was just thinking about it, but the range would be closer. So if like I want to provide a viable means of escape, but still have it be
no. That's Hunter x Hunter, bro. What I should have thought about was how much it amplified per like 3 passes. For every 3 passes, like how much, like how like the force of a regular shot is on average, 80 miles an hour, maybe.
Yeah.
So maybe did a little bit of math.
Maybe the Wombo Combo should be like 5 minutes. I have to hit you. I get to place 4 mines on you in 5 minutes.
Yeah, you can make like the time could reduce based on how many you stack on. If you stack 2, you probably have a lot longer. When you have 3 shorter, 4, then it's like really, really short. But usually if you're landing 4 on somebody, you're trying to probably kill them anyway, or put them into a checkmate position. That's another thing. You don't have to kill people. If people know what you can do, once you've hit them enough times, that's a good game. Shit, if you was playing the medicine game, that would work really well with your ability anyway.
Yeah.
Shit, you could hit somebody once and then let the mime go off, and that's a second hit.
Yeah, I would have to hit them with my hands, though, or my feet.
Yeah.
So, which feels illegal in lacrosse. I can't just punch somebody.
Well, no, medicine... Yeah. No, medicine game doesn't. I don't conjure sticks for everybody to play the sport of lacrosse. I thought about that. I think that's too cheesy. I think I think people make it whatever game they want, and they can either fight with their Hatsus or fight with raw aura. The point is, everybody fights on a shared equal amount of aura. That's used, like it pulls their aura together, like, and then disperses it basically equally between the combatants. So yeah, it's about who can work better together and who can outsmart the others. Anyway,
that's mine.
Yeah, some cool abilities. All right, I don't want to make it drag too long, so just some quick questions. Who would your theoretical character have the most beef with in the Hunter x Hunter series? I'll go. It's it would either be Isaac Netero, R.I.P. Or I guess like King Nasubi, you know, someone like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Nasubi would be a good one.
Yeah, those guys, you know, one is incredibly evil and stands for everything I hate, and the other one is incredibly irresponsible.
Yeah.
So, and allows these things to happen. So I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Probably me would probably be Pariston. Pariston would probably be my character's biggest beef. Probably, I don't know. I just feel like the way that Pariston operates, somebody who's more into doing for the good of it, like taking quests just for, you know, doing kind gestures, or like I could see my character taking more small quests than big quests. And Pariston always has skin in the game and everything that he does. Feel pretty like he would basically be like a very disingenuous person, and I don't think my character would like that. So that's like beef.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't even thought of that. I don't know if there's a character who's preventing me from getting food or people from getting food.
Kaido.
Yeah, it would be, my beef is with Kaido. Somehow, some way, he's crossed the borders
across universes.
Yeah, to prevent people from eating. And here I am. Old Gachukachika. That's a Hunter x Hunter ass name.
Yeah.
Gachukachika.
Sounds like that trash anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Josh? Oh, you said Nasubi. Brian said Pariston. I said Kaido.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think if I made it so that each of these abilities had a like level limit, that okay, so say I level up everything to 100, right? Or like to 50. Do you think that if I level, because like it's like a Nen affinity chart, right? So it branches off, like, so an enhancer at the top, mission and transmutation on the left and right. Do you think once I hit level 50 on each one that it opens up another branch into another like set of abilities for different affinities, or would that be too, because I have a lot of restrictions?
Specialist.
No, because like, so it would essentially be weakened, right, by 50%. So if it's 50 level 50, like 50 for emission and transmutation, 100 for physical, for enhancement, that'll be like 25 for conjuration and whatever's manipulation. And then I guess like 5% specialist in the end.
So
because I feel like I have enough restrictions to do it, right?
Yeah, I feel like that could be cool as long as you put, you know, you even it out. Like you got to balance it. Like, so one of the main balancing things is that your enhanceability, you're not using your enhanceability itself, right? Which also kind of leads into why you can't use your Hatsu unless you're doing a specific job or quest or something, right? So, because you can't lean on what's natural to you anyway, but what you take from doing other things, which lends into the experience thing, right? So if you make it so that, all right, like in theory, an enhancer could use 100% enhancement and then like 80 and 80 for like what? An 80 and 80 for fucking you know, the branches next to a transmuter, right? So if you're gonna use manipulator and conjurer, you got to cut that in half or like reduce it by a whole lot. Like, so instead of 80, it's got to be at like 30%, like a third of the ability. So you could use it for like small things, nothing too major, things to like, those are like more supportive, think more like supportive abilities, right?
Yeah, I feel like
like quirks.
I was thinking Conjuration would be like how Link has like his bag of like stuff. So I could make,
or maybe it could just be a specific thing you conjure, since you can only use 30%, and the things the things you conjure are never like that complex or that crazy anyway, unless you're like specifically a conjurer. I feel like, so I think it's better like for it to be a once like trusty item. You know what I mean? That you like unlock from like maybe like a quest you do enough times. You know what I mean? A certain type of quest. Like a hammer if you do enough blacksmith quest and cave quest and shit. So whatever. And then the specialist thing, when you maxed everything out, you could, it's, you know, like in a video game, it's a special move you can use really quick, and then you have an immense cooldown, like you know, a certain amount of cooldown for like all your abilities. So then all you have is your raw aura to fight with, and none of your actual like abilities. I think that's fair.
What if the specialist?
Because you're basically you're relying on your enhancement to boost everything else.
What if once I reach the specialist for a short period of time, I can use everything at once instead of everything separately? You know what I mean? Like I can have
that'd be cool.
My left and right activated. That'd be cool.
Yeah, hell yeah. For like, you know, a very specific short time. I think that'd be really cool.
All right. So one more thing. I don't know if you want to get into this, but Josh asked me to explain.
I do.
Explain the One Piece world map.
Yes, please.
So I brought one up. This is a fan made one by at Dado Skritios. Shouts out to him.
You know what's funny? Before you get into this, I've actually looked it up too. Like before, I forget why I've tried to find a One Piece map, but there's no official One Piece map.
There's no official One Piece map.
Oda has not ever drawn
when they make the globe. Map. Like I'm supposed to fucking know what that means.
This is how it looks. So in theory,
makes no fucking sense.
So what? This is the East Blue. This is obviously where Luffy and them came from.
Yeah, I see your mouse.
They traveled all the way through here, and they had to go up Reverse Mountain.
Oh, and they crisscrossed.
Yeah, they hit their islands that they went to, and they came down.
No, wait. No. All right, yeah. So they came down. So
again, this is not like
so they go to the falls. They get all.
They hit the Reverse Mountain. Yeah, and they come down this way.
Oh, so they don't keep going forward; they go right back.
Yeah, because if they were to continue to go forward,
that's the Grand Line.
They would end up in the West Blue. And if they kept going, if they turned really this way, yeah, it's just like another, ocean. So they had to come in this way. There's no way to this side of the Grand Line unless you go around the world.
Right, because those two passageways put you outside of the Grand Line, which is that darker blue, right?
Yeah, they will bring you to the West Blue, and it will bring you to the North Blue, and it will bring you to the South Blue. So the only other option is to turn here into the Grand Line. This is where they met Laboon. This is Whiskey Peak, and so on and so forth.
They were so close to the end. There's literally no way you can't get through those mountains and nothing like that.
Nope.
No, because you would have to sail.
Well, you need to
sail through the Calm Belt. You would have to sail through the Calm Belt.
Yeah, this is where the Neptunians are that will eventually just destroy your.
The Calm Belt is the Neptunians, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you could still go into the North Blue while avoiding the Calm Belt. You just got to be careful.
You can travel this way, and then you'll end up. You just make a turn here, and you'll fall into the North Blue.
But so this is why Marines are so OP, because they can sail through the Calm Belt.
Yeah, the Marines can go through Calm Belt because they have Sea Prism stones underneath.
And the Navy officers have a monopoly on that shit.
Yes, the military has
for all intents and purposes. Mm-hmm. So they travel the Calm Belt to get around places easily, and avoid needing a log post or whatever.
Yes. Well, they probably need a log post, but It's just to circumnavigate the calm belt. But yeah, they would go. This is the Grand Line. This is that first stage.
So they hit Reverse Mountain.
They land here.
Yeah, and that's where Alabasta is, right?
Yeah, this is Alabasta right here, according to this particular map.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Down here for some reason, there's no real rhyme or reason because there's no official like locations for these places.
Oh, okay. There's no real. Yeah, but it's within that.
Yeah, so you keep going.
Skypiea is right above the Grand Line,
and then you hit this on the other side of the world. You would go
and
under
that's where
this.
They went under for Fishman Island. Yep.
This is where
that's the red line right there.
Yeah, there's the red line on the other side. It's a ring,
and on the opposite side, that's the red line too, right?
Yes, and they will come up here, come down this way, and there you go. And then you would hit this, go all through your islands here. This is the New World. They're in Elbaf.
Oh,
and Lodestar is supposed to be right here, and then
wait,
somewhere here.
So you see these lines. So you see how one says calm belt, right? What's this? What's Paradise?
Paradise is is a nickname for the Grand Line. It was Paradise.
Oh, and both of those lines are the calm belt, basically.
Yes, both of those lines are the calm belt.
Is guarded by Neptunians. Yep. So that's why they could. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why they have to come in this way, straight line it underneath, come up here, and make their way through.
Wow, they're right there. So basically,
yeah, they're close.
Laugh-Tale is one of those last islands.
Yep.
And that's where the One Piece is.
Yep.
The Navy doesn't go over there?
The Navy does not go over there. Because they
Where are those big monsters at?
Which ones?
Oh, no, that's over on by
Belts.
You know those I mentioned them before, those huge hill monsters.
Oh, I don't know
black ones. They're like over by. They're not far off from where Moria was at.
Yeah,
that triangle, like those 3 islands or something like that. It's 3 hills. Anyway,
Yep. So that's
okay.
That's the Grand Line.
So what's up with the different blues? Anything interesting going on in those?
Not particularly. This is just like it's divided.
Yeah. It's
because
nothing.
The red line, this is how the red line divides the other oceans.
Right.
So
and then the east and south blue is divided by the calm belt and the Grand Line itself.
So yeah.
So the Neptunians don't venture outside of those lines. They stay within that.
Yeah, they stay in this little paradise area. Or this little calm belt.
Is Laugh-Tale part of that landmass? What is that called?
It's over here.
That's the red line too. So there's 2 red lines.
Yeah, no, it's one red line. This is just you're back at the start point, but just on the other side of it.
So do you think do you think the Straw Hats are gonna destroy Reverse Mountain?
Well, they would have to. I think it's more likely they destroy the red line, but
how are they going to destroy the whole ass red line?
I don't know.
There's 2 red lines on the map,
and it's not. No, there's one red line. This is just a flattened out map, a 2-dimensional map of a globe. So this would be the red line we're starting at. This would be the other side of the world. Right here.
Okay, what I think they're going to do is I think they're going to destroy Reverse Mountain, and I think they're going to destroy Mary's Rock.
But that's connected to the left side, right? To the other side?
Yep. And then it continues on this side.
Oh, those are just 2... those are just...
Yeah, if you picture a circle, like a ball, there's a ring around the ball. You're going around it, and then you end up on the other side. Does that make any sense? It's hard to explain.
It can't just be one ring going around the planet, though. Because that's not how the map would look. That's weird. There's like 2 red lines. There's 2 landmass. There's 2 strips. Am I bugging? Am I tweaking right now, Brian?
No. So reverse.
There's the one in the middle, and then those.
All right.
There's reverse mountain. And then what about the two at the sides? That's the same one, right?
Yeah, it's the same one.
Same one. It's
so
just
there's
the
2
other
different
side.
landmasses.
No, it's one landmass that goes around the world completely. And when they sail around the world to the other side of the ring. Okay. All right. Hold on. Okay. Hold on.
I've never seen Josh so actually confused
before. Hold on. I'm trying to find a little notepad or something to draw.
So when I look at a map of our world, right, that's flattened, I know that if I keep going to one side, I'm coming out of the other end.
Yes, that's what's happening.
Right. Now I see one central landmass. Right?
Yeah, that's this.
And then I see a skinny landmass on one end and a skinny landmass on the other, which, if I was looking at a regular map, would lead me to believe that these 2 structures on the sides are part of the same landmass. Now,
but they're not.
Am I wrong? Okay, the map is doing a disservice.
I'm trying to find a way to draw what I'm seeing here. Hold on. Not Premiere. Photoshop.
So the map doesn't do like a all right.
Hold on. I get you right now.
Because I can see the north, south, east, west, right? So clearly it's like at an angle, but
1 second. I got you right now. Let me close this. Okay. I am going to hold on. I gotta present a different screen.
Present a different screen.
Okay. So this is the hold on. The world.
The world.
The world.
Right. Now you can't see the other side of the world, but because it's round. Keep that in mind.
This is the red line.
All right. And it connects all the way around.
Yes, it's a complete circle.
And then the grand line is in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you sail from one end to the other, you're just running into the same wall that you sailed through the first time.
Could you go back to the original map?
Is the grand line.
Yeah. So basically with Reverse Mountain, as an example, you're starting at Reverse Mountain and then you sail around to the back of a Reverse Mountain, essentially.
No, I think I'm slow. I think I'm slow because what we're seeing at the sides, it's basically the sides of the middle landmass.
And then Luffy and the gang went this way, up Reverse Mountain, down this middle strip. And then they went down.
Oh, yeah.
And then they came back around the other side to the same landmass. And they would be on the other side.
Wow. Okay, I get it. Could you go back to the regular map real quick? I want to see something.
I'm changing it now. If you're listening on the audio-only version, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube so you can get the visual aids of the One Piece map.
Let me get some water real quick.
And this is just a flat representation of that. You go up this way. You go all the way around. This is the other side of the landmass. on the other end of the world. And then you would come up and then be here. And then you would come here to Laugh Tale. Make sense?
So when they went under Fishman Island,
yes, they went under here.
They were going under. What they were actually going under was Reverse Mountain. Again,
theoretically, yes, because
from the other side of the world.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we're saying.
It's just the map is. I'm taking the map too literally.
Yeah, it's a flat surface, but it represents.
Yeah. No, I understand. I understand.
You go up this way.
I get it.
Come down this way. You go down this way. Wait, sorry. Up this way, down this way. This is the round Earth. You're going around to the other side. Mm-hmm. Go under. You come back out on this side. And then you proceed to this end of the red line of Reverse Mountain. This is one side of Reverse Mountain. This is the other side of Reverse Mountain.
So all of this that they've been in has been the New World, and which was a huge deal.
Yes,
the new because that's where the emperors laid. That's where the Navy doesn't have as much of a stronghold.
Well, this is where the Navy reset up their main stronghold after the Whitebeard War.
Yeah, Marijoa is on the opposite end.
Yeah, Marijoa will be up here. Marijoa will be up here.
Where's your mouse at? Could you Oh, I see. Yeah. Right, which side, again would be on the exact opposite side of the planet from Reverse Mountain.
Yes.
Okay. I see. Well, thank you. Now I totally get it.
Glad to help. Well, we've been doing this for an hour. We should probably move on to the actual show.
Yeah.
This was fun.
Sports pod next week.
Yeah, sports pod next week.
Yeah. R.I.P. Lions.
Later, boys. See you guys in New Jump City.